Welcome everybody to the trial deck overview for JINX, the Loose Cannon Legend. This is one of the 4 trial decks that we have released to us right now for Riftbound, and she is a red-purple legend. We want to go over today the main cards in her deck, her kind of playstyle, and how we feel she operates in the format right now. To go over her effect, at the start of your beginning phase, draw 1 card if you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. So this is kind of a deck that wants to go hellbent, aka have little to no cards in hand, and be in kind of a top deck mode so you can get a value that other players can't get, as in drawing 2 for turn. For the locations that you're given with the starter deck, you're given Zon Warrens. Whenever you conquer here, discard 1, draw 1, which kind of helps filter your hands. Reaver's Row. When you defend here, you may move a friendly unit back to your base. This works very well with one of our units we'll get to later, and also protects some of our bigger units if we don't want them to die. And Windswept Headlock, which units here have ganking, so they can move battlefield to battlefield, so that way, instead of going to base, you can just go to other battlefields to try and help your other units capture stuff. With JINX, you're going to have 2 JINXes you can choose from the main deck to have as your partner. You're going to have Red JINX, which is a 3 cost, 1 red recycle, 4 power, accelerate, assault 2. As she's played, you may pay 1 red as an additional cost to have her enter ready. She gets +2 attack while she is an attacker, and whenever you play her, she has a discard 2. So she kind of helps you feel that game plan of going hellbent and having nothing in hand, so you can get the draw 2 early and quick. And the 5 cost purple JINX, which is a pay cost of 5, a recycle cost of 1 purple. She's a 5 cost, but whenever you discard 1 or more cards, you get to ready her, which is untapping her, and give her +1 attack this turn, so she can be moving a lot and causing a lot of damage on the battlefields. JINX's signature spell is going to be Super Mega Death Rocket. This is a 4 cost with 1 recycle cost of either a red or a purple that lets you deal 5 damage to a unit. And whenever you conquer an area, you may discard 1 card to the trash to get this back to your hand. So this is a reusable deal 5 to something. Kind of really helps JINX control the board since she's kind of a low to the ground aggro deck. We are playing 2 copies of this. With the red JINX, we are playing 3. The purple, we're just playing 1. Most people are going to end up playing this red JINX as a partner, myself included. I play this as my partner. We play 3, Seal of Discord. This is just to keep it so we don't have to recycle back our runes all the time, and lets us pay those recycle costs. 3 of Recycle of Rage. Same thing, this lets us pay the recycle costs. This also allows us to add that red mana, so we can pay the accelerate cost, so we can get our engine going quicker and have our units coming in attacking the turn we can. Next, we're going to move to our low end. We have Vi. She's a 2 cost with 1 red cycling. She has ganking, so she can naturally move battlefield to battlefield. Very strong. And another very strong thing on this card, this is not once per turn. This is recycle 1 from your trash and give her +1 might this turn. So recycling 1 from your trash means you take 1 card from your trash, put on the bottom of your deck, and she'll gain +1 might, making her a 4 attack. So if the game goes later on, Vi can end up being a 10, 11 attack card if you can put 7, 8 cards from your trash back in your deck, because you are going to be discarding a lot and drawing a lot. So this is a good game finisher and a good early game card. Next, we have Chemtech Enforcer. For the Vi, we are also running 2 copies of it right now in the trial deck. 3 of the Chemtech Enforcer, which just has Assault 2. It gains +2 when it's attacking, and when you play it, it discards 1. So it does that thing where it helps JINX become hellbent. And it's a 4 attacker, so it's good at swinging into places. So you can put it to fight at Reaver Row, force your opponent to run away because you are going to be a 4 might attacker. And then when people try to fight you, you can defend and just move away from the fight so you don't end up losing your Chemtech Enforcer. Next, we have 3 of the Legion Rearguard. This is a 2-drop 2 might character with Accelerate, so you can pay a black and 1 red to have this come in ready. So a thing to note with this one black and one red, that's going to be tapping one of these to add the black, and then either recycling the rune to also add the red that you would need to give it accelerate, or if you have a seal, you can tap the seal to generate the red and then tap a rune to generate the black, and that way you can give this accelerate, and it has a haste type effect, so immediately you can tap it and move it to a location. Next is probably arguably 3 of the best unit in the JINX deck. This is a Traveling Merchant. Whenever he moves, you discard 1, then draw 1. This is not optional, this is a thing that happens, so you have to be a little careful. But you pay 2, you play this, and then you can move it to places like Reaver's Row, and you'll discard draw, and then if your opponent tries to attack into Reaver's Row, you can use Reaver's Row to move your merchant back to your base, which then he moved, which will trigger you discarding drawing 1. So it helps you cycle through your hand a whole bunch, build up your trash for your Vi to help build up the numbers and the things you need to get there. And cards that we can end up discarding off of this, don't forget this discard draw 1 works very well in tandem with this JINX, so you could end up untapping her and making her move around a lot. But we have probably the best card you want to discard, Flame Choppers. This is a 3 cost 3 power, but if you discard it, you can just pay a red, which either is paid by recycling a Fury rune back to your rune deck, or by tapping a seal. You get to play the Flame Choppers out. So this is a 1-drop 3 power character that's very powerful early on. We are running 3 of this because we want to see it. Remember, 3 of this is the max copies of a deck. The trial deck is playing 1 Scrapyard Champion. This is a 5 cost with 1 recycle. A 5-drop with Legion. When you play me, discard 2, then draw 2. Legion means you only get this effect if you played something else this turn. So you want to pair it in combination with either a seal, an early JINX, a merchant, something else before you play this. So you do get that discard 2, draw 2. Next, we're playing 1 Undercover Agent, which is a 5 cost with a purple cost of 1 purple. With Death Kneel, this is when it dies, discard 2, draw 2. So another cycling card that is just a good body for us. Next, we are playing 3 of Knoxville Hopeful. It is a 4 cost 3 power, but it does have Legion, where if you played another card, i.e. one of these runes, or a merchant or something, he is a 2 cost 3 power. So very good stats if you played something before it. If you're playing it as a 4-3, it's kind of not as good, but you have ways to make it cheaper, so that is why it is included in this. Next, we are playing 3 of the Brazen Buccaneer, which is a 6 cost 5 power, but as you play him, you may discard a card, and if you do, it reduces the cost by 2. So this, again, is a cost reductor. This is a 4 cost 5 power card, which is very good because as a discard, you could be discarding the Flame Choppers. So then you could totally make this a 5 cost. But discarding a card also helps this JINX get ready and do more stuff, builds up more cards and trash for the Vi, and just overall makes this deck churn very well. Next, we are playing 2 of the 1 cost spell Gust, which has reaction. So you can play in response to anything. You can play during showdowns, play during your turn. You can play anytime. Return a unit with 3 might or less at a battlefield to its owner's hands. So when you're fighting and someone's trying to kill one of your JINXes or something you really don't want to die, you can use this to return a unit to its owner's hands. So if you have no way to save your merchant from the fight, you can bounce your merchant. If you want to bounce, let's say, the Vi because you want to save her, so next turn you can keep her for recycling, you can do that. You can rebounce the chopper so you have a good discard. You can rebounce your hopefuls, you can rebounce your legionnaires so you can get rush. You can rebounce your Chemtech Enforcer. Most of the things in the trial deck can be bounced with this, but also helps against stemming off aggro from other decks. This card is very good. Next, we're playing 2 of Rebuke. This card is also very good. It is a 2 cost recycle 2 purple action, so you can only play it on your turn, or in any of the showdowns, return a unit at a battlefield to its owner's hand. So when you're playing against Volibear, Yasuo, Victor, and they play any of their big bodies and they want to fight, you can just go, nope, put it back in your hand. You don't have to worry about anything, just puts it back in their hand. Next, probably one of the funnest cards and most enjoyable card in the JINX deck is going to be 2 of the Possession. This is an 8-cost triple purple recycle action. Move an enemy unit from a battlefield to your base exhausted. You now control it. I know there's a typo on this card, but it means you get to take control of somebody's thing. So if they have a big Volibear, big base, big unit, and they go to move into a spot, and you're like, oh no, how am I going to deal with it? You go Possession. This is now my unit, no longer your unit, and it is a very, very funny card to play around. So what you want to be looking when you're playing with JINX, don't forget you want to get to low cards in hand, so that way you can be drawing extra cards, which helps you find options, and then being able to move and conquer places so you can add back your Death Rocket, because Death Rocket is one of the few cards in the game that can target units anywhere. It doesn't have to be at a battlefield, where if you look at Gust, it says battlefield. You look at Rebuke, it says battlefield. You look at Possession, it says a battlefield. These things need to target a battlefield, where Death Rocket just says a unit. So we really want to be recurring this as much as we can, which means we need to find the seals so we can pay the red or the purple, so we don't have to be putting runes back into our rune deck, so we can keep staying mana positive as we're playing Death Rocket. I want to say our favorable matchups is when we're playing 1v1s. 1v1s, the aggro of JINX is very strong. I feel when you're playing free-for-all or higher player pods, 3 or 4 players, this deck really struggles in the late game, but very well excels in the early game. If you like a deck that likes to go fast and just wants to draw the best cards it can and see a lot of its deck, I highly recommend JINX the Loose Cannon. That is going to wrap up the first of our 4 trial deck introduction videos. We will be going over the other 3 in detail as much as we have today, and hopefully we get to see more cards for this JINX, maybe a few more JINX, maybe some more things that do stuff when they get discarded. I'm very excited to see where we take this red and purple leader to the next step.